Hi, I'm Matti Mali, aka Hypnotic Actor, and under normal circumstances I wouldn't have bought the 1999 point-and-click adventure Amerzone. Therefore it had to be sneaky in order to get into my game collection and come packaged with more intriguing products. So let's take a look at it.
Full title Amerzone, The Explorer's Legacy has as the main creative force the comics author Benoit Sokal of Inspector Canardo fame, whose most well-known video game work is arguably Syberia trilogy. This game kind of advertises itself as a prequel to those, and sure, Amerzone is mentioned in the first game, but that's pretty much where the connections end.
The game stars you. Yes, you, the player. I mean, it's from the first-person perspective, so it has to be you. Anyway, it's 1998 in France, and you are a reporter who is sent to interview a failed explorer, Alexandre Valenbois, played by Doc Rat.
I have no strength left. You must go for me, you must go. Take the egg back. Take the egg of the white birds back to Amerzone, I beg you, please.
Never mind.
Late Mr. Valenbois gives further details in a letter where he tells how during his expedition to South American country of Amerzone, he stole a sacred egg from a native tribe, and reading this heart-wrenching backstory of love and greed made me wonder why he wasn't put as the player character. Still, the game starts promising as its alternate reality Earth is built neatly with letters, journals, photos, and some TV footage from Amerzone's despotic leader and Alexander's former friend Antonio Alvarez, led by Jimmy Schumann.
Tenemos que salir esta nación de la miseria. Sempre viva la persona, viva la libertad.
I have no idea what he said, but it sure does sound threatening. Most of the time you hardly meet any people though. You just wander around in deserted places solving puzzles.
The main source of inspiration was Myst, and while I haven't played that game, I can tell this one is far less cryptic. I think the visual style fits. It has that grainy yet smooth late 90s charm, which is perfect in showcasing odd technology like computers and floppy disks from the 1930s.
Floppy disks from the 1930s!
However, these graphics also contribute to the most common reason why people get stuck in this game. The puzzles themselves aren't super hard, like figuring out the password to Alexandre's computer, but often it's hard to figure out from this pixelated mass what's supposed to be background and not. Like this one from the beginning where you have to put this cane into this hole, and these get worse once you get to the jungle areas. I'm supposed to shoot a hook to convenient rocks, a mechanic the game doesn't bother to explain by the way, but as you can see they're not, well, easy to see. Right, that vehicle. The first chapter is about getting the egg that is mysteriously still alive after half a century inside of the ultimate exploring machine.
Again, from the 1930s!
And squadala, we're off to the mythical land of Amerzone that under the rule of Alvarez has been turned into an isolated banana republic. Except you need to first land on this sand-filled bay area with a grumpy fisherman you won't see again after this, and you need to rescue a whale. They were really stretching with the filler content, weren't they?
Amerzone is divided into 7 chapters, and depending on how much you know about point-and-click games, it takes about only 3 to 5 hours to complete it. I should mention at this point that this game is based on an earlier Inspector Canardo album, Amerzone from 1986, and from what I looked up, this game has a more poetic tone to it. I guess I can see that being the lonely person in a thick jungle with only wind and animal noises as soundtrack is rather atmospheric. However, I don't think the Myst angle was the right approach.
This is most apparent in the third chapter where you reach a military outpost. There you meet a third member of the original expedition, David Makovsky, played by Joe Sheridan, who is a priest and tells that Alexander's native girlfriend, let's just say, didn't take his betrayal well. There is something potentially powerful here, but it leaves no impact because the main character, that is you, has nothing to do with these people and is a complete non-person anyway. Also, as you might have guessed, David won't be around for long.
They accused me of letting you in the fort. I think it's time for me to give account for my mistakes before God.
Seriously, this happens so often it becomes unintentionally funny.
I understand that making Alexandre Valenbois as the main character would completely change the mood of the game, but it would also make all the character interactions more meaningful and offer a compelling redemption story. And the game continues from there, with more roaming in the jungles, ending in a climax that is rather weak. And that was Amerzone, one of the most mediocre experiences I've had.
It has some good elements to it, like the setting and graphics, but otherwise it feels like a product from someone who is not sure how this genre of video games work. Characters come and go, mute protagonist doesn't serve the needs of the narrative, and pixel hunting, while not the worst, is still a pesky nuisance. But as I said, the potential for something greater is there, so we will eventually see how well the developers fared with their next effort, Syberia.
In the next episode I shall conclude the Elder Scrolls retrospective with its 5th main game, but currently I have so many projects on my table that I need to change Mystery Gamebox into a bi-weekly series for at least the next 2 to 3 episodes. I'll see if I post something smaller during the longer breaks. Until then, thanks for your time.